Resident Evil 0.
Oh. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. I am Steven. I'm here alongside Andrew. We are Cal Gaming, and welcome to the long-awaited playthrough of Resident Evil 0, the HD remaster for the PS4.
And I'm sorry to say, but Stevie, but what was with that Santa Claus laugh at the beginning? You had to introduce it there.
Because I've been looking forward to this playthrough for a long time. This was actually the first game I recorded for the channel.
When did you record this, by the way?
Months ago.
What? So yes, we're going back to Resident Evil, folks. So yes, as much as I love Resident Evil, I have never played Resident Evil 0. So again, this is all going to be new to me.
It'll be a new gameplay style as well. This is actually our first classic game we're playing.
Yeah, so let's go some history about Resident Evil 0 then.
This is the game that explains exactly how the T-Virus leaked into the mansion. And it's kind of goofy, actually.
And we begin with a train.
This is the Ecliptic Express.
July 23rd, 1998. Is this just a regular train in this from the Service of City, or is this owned by Umbrella?
Yeah, I think it's just a regular train. But either way, this is our first classic game for the channel, and as a result, there are some significant and major gameplay changes. One, you can't just blast everything in sight and hope to win easily. You have to manage your inventory and health perfectly, because this game is not easy.
And what the fuck? Leeches.
Really crazy leeches.
Are you telling me these leeches are fucking controlled by a Final Fantasy opera in the mountains?
Yeah, the guy's design is kind of weird, actually. And he seems to like opera. You can listen to the music there.
I'm serious, he looks straight out of Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I have that same feeling. Kind of like Sephiroth in a way with a hair, I would say.
But
just missing the giant ass sword.
But it doesn't make sense when you think about it. This in a Resident Evil game? Really?
Well, Code Veronica got pretty goofy.
So here's Star's Bravo team.
This is the team that would eventually become scattered in the mansion in the first game.
And
there she is!
Yeah, Steven's favourite.
She's my favourite female character in the Resident Evil verse. She's so cute. Rebecca Chambers. This game explains how she ended up in the mansion to begin with, actually.
So when did Resident Evil 0 came out?
I would say, like, early 2000, around 2002, 3. It was around the time Capcom put almost... In fact, yeah, they put all of the Resident Evil games onto the GameCube, actually. Aside from Outbreak and Outbreak File 2.
I believe that Resident Evil 0 was like a year after the remake, because it uses the same engine.
Yeah.
Well, the remake of the first game for the GameCube, and then I recall it was ported for the Wii, like under Resident Evil Archives.
Yeah, they didn't function any differently though. They were just the same game.
Could you still use the GameCube controls on those?
Yeah, actually. Nice little touch. This game actually came with 2 discs on the GameCube when it first came out. Same with Remake.
But what you're playing here is the PS4 HD remaster.
Yeah, which was released about a year or 2 ago now. You get the Origins collection. You get both Remake and 0 with it. This is Billy Cohen. He's our second playable character we'll get access to later, but for now, he's on the run. Because he apparently killed a bunch of people and was sentenced to death for it.
I'm sorry, but the face animations look a bit outdated, especially on that guy.
This was like early hardware though, and for GameCube, this was.
Yeah, I would imagine for the GameCube this would have looked fantastic.
The game actually. Wait till we get to the gameplay. The game actually does still look really good, actually, because it's again not only does it use the same gameplay engine as Remake, it also uses the same visual engine.
In fact, I would say the only thing in terms of my history with the series, I would say the only thing I came close to playing Resident Evil 0. Was through Resident Evil Umbrella Chronicles. But even then, that's not 0, so...
That's just an abridged version of the story.
Like, I know for one thing in Umbrella Chronicles, they didn't bother with the whole Final Fantasy design of the main villain there.
They also pretty much completely skipped over the Resident Evil 3 storyline.
No, actually, Umbrella Chronicles did Resident Evil 3.
It was just severely condensed compared to what RE3's story actually was. Like, Nemesis doesn't show up until the very end of it, actually, in Umbrella Chronicles. The door to safety is shut. There's no turning back.
Why are you whispering?
Because it's scary.
So,
Here we
gameplay
are,
wise.
ladies and gentlemen. Now, you may have noticed right off the bat, the camera is different. The way the classic Resident Evils work, your camera angles are fixed. You won't be able to move around. Well, you can move around, of course, but the camera angles will not change until you go to a certain border of that area. Only then will it change, which becomes a problem when you have off-screen enemies.
Now, there's actually two ways you can control it, actually, because I did play the remake, where you can use the analog stick, or you can use the traditional tank controls of the D-pad.
Tank controls.
Well, they're not that bad, actually. All you need to do is just hold up at all times, and you'll just go in that one direction.
They're horrible. But yeah, thankfully, Resident Evil Remake and Zero's HD remasters give you the tank controls if you're sadistic enough to still want to use them. And the new alternate controls, which let you move in the direction you push the stick in.
But the problem is that with the alternate controls, is that when the camera switches, that's what I mean. Like, if you use the D-pad, and if you just hold up, the cameras will just go up straight away. And then if you use the alternative controls, you'll end up doing these little spins because the controls screw up.
Yeah, I wouldn't use the alternate controls when you have to avoid the boulders later on in Remake. And what I'm just showing off right there is a new mechanic introduced only in Zero. I don't know if Outbreak 1 and 2 did this as well, but in Zero, there are no item boxes. Item boxes in the other classic games are your main way of storing items you don't need as of that moment. In Zero, you can store items on the ground anywhere, and you can come back for them at any time.
Oh, they don't disappear when you discard them?
No.
Interesting.
One thing I do have to note though, any items that you do not pick up on the train the first time when you see them will be gone once you complete the train, so if you want to get them, at least pick them up at least one time and then drop them on the ground. This is one thing I noticed as well. There's quite a few full motion video cutscene moments for small moments in this game, actually.
Well, this is an MPV, isn't it?
No, this is an FMV.
FMV, that's what I meant.
Full motion video, yeah.
Full motion video, yeah.
Using the CGI. Now, the way the combat works is that you must equip a weapon first, like a handgun or a knife, and then you must press and hold a ready stance button, and then the fire button. Do not let the zombies get too close to you, because their main form of attack is to grab you and bite the shit out of you. And I've heard, I've never actually had it happen to me, but I've heard that if you get grabbed by 2 or more zombies on normal difficulty, that leads to instant death.
Well, I would say it's because, according to some history, there is some differences between Rebecca and Billy in terms of gameplay mechanics.
Oh, Rebecca's health is shit. She goes from fine to danger in Flash.
Why is her health shit considering she's a fucking medic?
I don't know, actually. On that note, let me explain the health system. As you can see up there, there's an electrocardiogram, essentially a hospital kind of monitor, that monitors your health. There are 4 health levels in the game with one really bad status effect. You have fine, green, caution, yellow, caution, orange, and danger.
Yeah, when you're in danger, that's when you need to worry.
Remake and Zero don't lower your movement speed very much when you're in caution orange onwards, because caution orange onwards is when your character starts to limp, and you do not want to stay in that status for long, because
they didn't introduce the limp until Resident Evil 2, which is finally getting a remake.
Oh, at the time of this recording, they finally showed it off, and oh, I need it now.
Alright, that Resident Evil 2 looks fantastic, but we'll have to wait until next year, unfortunately.
25th
Anyway,
of January.
Anyway, back to Resident Evil 0. Yes, the limping didn't start till the original Resident Evil 2, and that was the first time where you can actually see like physical signs that you're taking damage, because in the original Resident Evil, you didn't know it, you didn't limp at all.
Yeah, which wasn't what you wanted when you were low on health.
What's this, you're actually showing off the files?
Yes, and like you.
You're just... filler.
What? You guys can read, right? So, just read ahead. Don't listen to us.
Aye, just turn the mute off if you don't like hearing our voices.
What? Do you not like us? Huh? What? You got a problem? And this poor guy's been attacked in his sleep. Too bad, so sad. Goodbye.
Oh, he stole... I see his fedora there. He stole it from Mr. Phelps. Cole Phelps, fedora.
Cole Phelps, dead. The lighting and the shadows look really good.
Yeah, I'll give it that. The atmosphere is really good.
One thing I'm not showing off just yet is something that was changed in this version of the game. where you can change costumes immediately. And here's one of my favorite things about the classic games: the save room music.
Wasn't your favorite Resident Evil 2's?
That has the best one easily. It's a little different in the remake. Actually, someone got to the save room in the gameplay demo that was in E3. It's a little different, but apparently you can actually.
What the hell is that misspelling there? Following orders of Will Buck.
No, some of the letters are missing actually because it's been torn up.
Huh.
The rest is torn and unreadable.
Well, because I know my history, I can tell that it's William Birkin.
Yeah, the tragic scientist who worked for Umbrella, who would go on to infect himself with the G virus, his ultimate creation.
Mm-hmm. And yet, this is the old way of saving, folks. Ink ribbons.
Oh, I should probably bring this up right now. There are no checkpoints in classic Resident Evil. If you die, you are thrown straight back to the title screen. Yeah.
What, are you saying this doesn't have an autosave feature?
No autosave, no retry, no second chances.
I know that was in the remake, but
no second chances. If you die, it's all over.
Yep. So that's the only way to save, folks. You only want to you want to save your progress. You have to find an ink ribbon.
You'll know if you've died because your character will do like a death cry or some sorts and fall to the ground, and then the screen will flash white, and then it'll take you to a like black background with her body, and it'll say you are dead, and then that's it. You're back to the title screen. So yeah, try not to die.
Here's Mr. Billy Cohen, who up to this point has not made an appearance in any other Resident Evil game.
Yeah, which is a shame. The tattoo on his right arm actually reads Mother Love, which I believe is either a Queen song or album. Claire Redfield also had Made in Heaven on the back of her.
Yeah, and so did Chris as an alternate outfit in the original Resident Evil, I think, as an alternate costume.
Oh, not remake?
No, I don't think it was the remake.
But remake. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
But I know that Made in Heaven wasn't an alternate costume for Chris in the original PS1 game.
You're under arrest.
No thanks, Dollface. I've already won.
Check out my sweet handcuffs.
What about my man pecs, huh? Billy's one of my favorites, actually. It's just a shame we haven't seen him since this game. Oh, that didn't go well.
Edward.
Well, he didn't last long.
What happened?
Of course, zombie apocalypse, nobody knows what the fuck to do. I've got a feeling he's going to come back as a zombie. Isn't he?
We'll see.
Just-
I have a little special something planned for that in this playthrough, actually.
Monsters.
It's actually dogs that they're having to deal with, because you guys remember the first game? What set off all the...
Speak of asking, you shall receive.
Oh boy.
I fucking hate the dogs in the remake.
They only show up on the train in this game, but they do have an instant kill attack where they will pin you to the ground, and if you don't break free of them, they rip out your throat. So, yeah. In order to break free from enemy grab attacks, you must...
Mush.
You must
you must mush potatoes and give them mashed potatoes.
You must either wiggle the left analog stick really fast, or just mash the face buttons. You can do both at once if you want, but that's what I always do, just to minimize the damage. Whenever you take damage, the game will essentially do a damage roll to calculate whether or not you'll take a certain amount of damage from an enemy attack or not. You cannot see your total health level. It's estimated as a percentage that is invisible to you, that you can only guess based on your condition, as the electrocardiogram in the inventory shows.
No, I noticed that the zombies, you can tell which zombies are going to move when they've got higher polygons and more detail than compared to the others.
It's even funnier when they're not actually up on their feet yet and you can still aim in their direction. Because this game actually has auto aim.
Fucking hell, are these leech eggs?
Yep. And we're blocked off, so we can't go that way right now.
What has the leeches got to do with the virus?
They carry it, actually, because they carry the T-virus that caused the whole mansion incident.
Huh.
That's actually one of the ways you can tell if there's maybe a cutscene going to happen when the character still runs into the door when you press X.
Well, this is an end-game cutscene, so...
Yeah.
Enrico. Yeah.
The first game.
Oh yeah, that was one of the most infamous parts about the original Resident Evil, was its awful voice acting.
Stop it! Don't open that door!
This is the same guy from RE5, right? No, do you know what was best about the original? That cheesy opening.
Oh, the live action.
The live action opening.
No! Don't go! And then you see a CG copter flying away.
No. When it zooms on the dog, it's a hand puppet.
Yeah.
And the mansion is a postcard. Run! Into the CGI postcard!
Jill, run for that house! Oh, man.
I don't know if we'll do... It'd be nice if we could, but... I don't know
we're
if
doing remake.
Yeah, we're doing...
Remake's so much better.
But I don't know, maybe I might do the original Resident Evil as well, but I've just not beaten it as of this yet. I've only gone up to the greenhouse.
Yeah. Yeah, you have the director's cut version of the game, which has the crazily hard advanced difficulty mode. Don't play that unless you want to die. Yeah, and I just showed off there that fighting isn't always the best option. You'll want to try and conserve ammo whenever possible to try and run around.
Yeah, this is when Resident Evil was about survival horror, not action, like 5 and 6.
Unfortunately, I will have to put those zombies down on the way back eventually because they are in the way and it's very hard to dodge zombies on the train. This is one of the problems with Zero, is that it's much harder to avoid enemies in general because of the condensed areas. We'll get access to areas that are a bit more open later, but for now, things are very tight and loose. No, wait, not very. No, I'm trying to think. No. It's not very easy to dodge enemies, is what I should probably say.
Yeah, because they don't have a dodge mechanic here.
That was actually introduced in Resident Evil 3.
Well, I'm talking specifically more like they had the counter system in RE6, where it was good to defend against zombies, but it made it more action rather than survival horror.
You still had to time that right, though. More files. I don't get all of them in the game. I just pick up the ones that I see. Oh, and here's another thing about this series.
I love how they paid great attention to the stairs here. Totally not saying loading time.
You can actually skip the doors in some of the classic games, like the PC version of Resident Evil 3.
No, I think you could do that in, what was it, the DS, Resident Evil DS?
Deadly Silence.
Yeah, you can actually choose to skip the doors, because it doesn't need them.
The game also had that was just Resident Evil 1, but with a graphical uplift for the DS, kind of like Mario 64 DS. Mm-hmm. And it had a mode where it would mix and match enemies in rooms, like crows plus hunters. Yeah, that was fucking fun.
Oh.
This game contains scenes of explicit violence and gore.
So we got zombie leeches?
A leech zombie, to be exact. And it seems to be taking on the form of one particular man. Whoever it is, we'll have to wait to find out. But yeah, don't waste your ammo here, just run away.
Bravely ran away, bravely ran
exactly
away.
That. Oh, come on.
Well, that's
Ready, dying? Oh.
Why is it when he shoots 3 of them, all the rest fall down?
Well, maybe they're scared because of the loud noise. Well, as a gunshot, well, film Matrix here.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll just go away.
And spill your piss all over the floor, all over Rebecca. You're going to need a bath, hen.
Not really. She actually looks really clean right there for some reason.
Video game logic.
Oh, we have our...
Why is it with opera singing leeches?
That's another thing the classic games do really well, the soundtrack.
I don't know about the opera though. It feels out of place.
Yeah, we didn't see much of his face there, but he's pretty young.
Who is that guy?
Who is that guy, and why does he look like he's straight out of Final Fantasy?
And the train.
Good question, Rebecca.
Go and check out the first
Who is controlling the train?
Listen.
Wait, what? I thought you were a crazy convict.
Got that?
Well, I don't.
Clue in, girl. Or maybe you like being worm bait.
All right.
I've got a feeling that's going to be a recurring thing since Rebecca's a youngster here.
We'll see. She's only 18 years old, by the way.
And she's a fucking medic.
Yeah,
Then again, what is it? She got a PhD in doctoring?
I believe so.
Which is not really that bad. All she needs to do is take out a can and go tss.
Now we get access to the partner system.
Do you know what? A spray painter can do her job.
Back to the partner system, you can switch between any of the two characters at any given time. Billy cannot combine herbs for some fucking reason.
Why, he didn't take chemistry in school?
No. Even though he's like a marine and he has all these survival skills.
I'm surely if he was a marine they would have taught him how to patch himself up.
Now, if you select team on the partner menu, the partner will follow the character you're playing as. You can switch between any of the two characters by pressing triangle at any given time. You can also press R2, I believe it's R2, to have them either stay or follow you, at which point your character will give a voice command and they'll stay there. They have to be in the same room as you in order to call them though.
So Rebecca can combine herbs, shit health, and
She has a mixing set.
Belly on the hammer can't mix herbs, but he can take more
And you
damage.
can push heavier objects. By the way, if just one character dies, the game instantly ends. So there's no any of us leaving anyone behind. Pish.
So this is pretty much a test for the co-op system that they were introduced in 5.
Resident Evil 1 was originally going to have a co-op system. If you look at early screenshots, like beta builds for the game, there are screenshots of like 2 characters on screen at once. Like the way they wanted it to have co-op.
You gotta love how cheesy the nod is.
Come on.
Roger.
Yeah, this is just me showing off the fact that the partner can be left behind. Oh, there's the knife. The knife.
Is useless.
The knife, the knife, the knife. Do not bother with this thing, ladies and gentlemen. It will get you killed. However, in this game, it has one use, which I will get of it later. But we'll have to wait and see. It's actually pretty good for taking out zombies in Code Veronica as well.
Another thing about classic Resident Evil, folks. Limited inventory.
Hope you like backtracking.
I'm gonna say it right now, Resident Evil 4 has the best inventory system.
Tetris. Pretty dangerous.
This scene right here is it's not covered in snow, but it's reminding me of a scene in the Polar Express.
Oh, I haven't seen that. I have not seen that in like over a decade.
Aye, it's when the little boy's trying to get to the guard, and he's for whatever reason he's on the roof.
And
Like
Tom Hanks is the conductor.
exactly, but why would you go on the roof? It's dangerous. In fact, why are you not flying off, considering the speed you're going on?
You're more concerned about that. This is a live wire we're touching in the rain. Shouldn't we have gotten electrocuted? No, this cutscene will change if you sent Billy up here, but there's a reason I'm sending Becky up. Because what we need to do is we have to find a key item in order to get access to the main conductor room, actually, because it's locked.
Sorry to interrupt, but the leeches would have been more smarter if they did cover that wire up, just as Rebecca put a bit back together. Get rid of her, and then chew the wire again. Smart. I'm just
wait
saying.
till later. We'll see
saying.
something like that later, where we solve something and then something goes wrong because of the leeches. Now this door knob is stuck until you can get a specific item to Becky or whoever you send here. I would recommend sending Becky here because we have to fight a boss pretty soon, and it's a pretty powerful one. And Billy can take more damage before dying, so send Becky up here. If you're not going for the defeat all bosses trophy as Becky. Because this game actually has a pretty good trophy list. Very challenging.
And this is one of these elevator things that you can switch items with.
Yeah, you can only send small items there. You can't send anything like a shotgun or anything, so...
Can you imagine if you can squeeze it in there?
No, they crush it into a cube. And then they can't use it. Fuck, what do I do now? But now that we've reconnected the power cables, we can get in here.
What's for dinner?
Nothing. Everybody's dead, if you haven't noticed. Escape panel here, and of course we don't have the right tool to open it. And of course that door is locked too. That's a running theme with Resident Evil, by the way, especially classic Resident Evil.
Backtracking.
Locked doors.
Will you take the key? No, I'm just gonna leave it there.
No, I just want to look at it. Seriously, what else am I going to do with it? The option, the confirm... Fucking camera. That's the alternate controls with the camera.
Just use that D-pad. You won't have any of that problem.
Fuck the tank controls. No one likes them.
I don't mind
Here's
them.
where I have to drop the zombies because they're directly in the way. There's no way around them.
Now, you won't have to worry about Crimson Heads, right?
Not in this game. Just in case you're wondering, ladies and gentlemen, Crimson Heads are a type of zombie mutation that were introduced in Remake, where if you dropped a zombie and their head wasn't destroyed, they would get back up again as a much stronger zombie that was red all over. It's actually the second to last stage before they mutate into a licker.
Mm-hmm. The only way to stop that from happening is to either decapitate the head or get a headshot or burn the bodies.
Yeah. Again, the only way to go through the zombies is to gun them down. You'll know if a zombie's dead because its blood will ooze onto the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And here is one problem. You can't see the enemy off screen because of the camera angles. Right there, you cannot see the zombie.
What are you saying, Stevie? First you said the knife is useless and you're getting some use out of it?
I'm only using it just to deal the last piece of damage that we need to do to the zombie to put it down for good. As so. But yeah, don't use the knife. It will get you killed. But first off, we have to go and save our progress. Because I don't want to die and have to start the whole game over. We'll see you guys in the next part.